Hello, I'm Adam, hailing from partsFUNknown, and welcome to part 1 of this month's No Rolls Barred one-shot. We've decided to divide this month's one-shot into 2 parts because we thought it might make an easier viewing watch for people. Also, it gives our wonderful patrons twice the early access this month. As ever, this game is based on Worldwide Wrestling, a system designed by Nathan D. Powerletter. Check out the link in the description for more details. Without further ado, take us away, Tom.
Hello and welcome back to CBW, where the big boys are school boys. My name is Tom, head master here at CBW, and these are our players.
Hello, I'm Adam, and I am playing Paul Monitor, a hall monitor, and I am the veteran class.
My name's Lo. I'll be playing Rita Hexbook, and I'm the iconoclast.
Hello, darlings. My name's Laurie. I'm playing Amelia Dramica, and I am the provocateur.
My name's Ollie Davis, and I'm playing Rick Thunder, the high flyer.
Sup, dudes? I'm Luke N, and I'm going to be playing Ostraker Belton.
Right, let's do a fight. If conflict is the essence of drama, then drama is the essence of high school. Shakespearean feuds erupt amidst the lockers as childhood friends become mortal enemies. Cliques clash like warring tribes to strengthen their status and mark their territory. And the tuna surprise is far from the darkest secret, bubbling away in the cafeteria, ready to overflow and flood the student body in a sea of discord and casserole. Things run a little differently, however, here at Grap Valley High. There is a calm in the classrooms and corridors. From first bell to last, all walks of school life stride side by side, safe from sharp words and cruel intentions. But by what means can such a mellow mood be maintained in the hot-blooded house of hormones and hostility that is senior high? Cast your eyes and ears below the oblivious footsteps of a clueless faculty to an abandoned basement where scholastic scufflers settle their differences by beating the living schoolhouse out of each other. It's peace in the halls and war in the ring here at CBW. Welcome to Classroom Brawler Wrestling.
CBW.
Dudes.
Welcome, everyone, to Classroom Brawler Wrestling, and welcome to another meeting of Quarrel Club. Prepare yourselves as these extracurricular contenders clash inside and outside the ropes in the name of peer pressure, popularity, and pandemonium. The school day starts as any other. The sun is shining in the skies of Grap Valley, and students are bustling around the parking lot outside the high school, eager to learn, eager to get to class, eager to go about the business of being an adolescent. One car, however, begins a smooth and speedy pull into a parking spot that has not been seen before this day on the pavements of Grap Valley High. It is a ghost grey 1984 Pontiac Trans Am. And as it pulls into the last wide spot, it by mere inches drifts out of the way of a group of gnarly-looking bikers on heavy Harley-Davidsons wearing thick leather jackets, faces marked with scars and worse. You hear a low grumble, not just of the bike's engines, but also from deep within these bikers as the sweetest parking spot in school has been taken from them. Ollie, please can you tell us who emerges from this ghost grey automobile?
Opening, the door opens upwards like the Knight Rider car, and he steps out. And here is Rick Thunder, just having arrived from another dimension or time frame. He looks around. Tamagotchis? Burbies? Is that a Blockbuster on campus? I'm home. I've made it. Back home, Rick Thunder. In time. And I run over to the first person I see. I'm like, did you watch Danger Zone on TV last night? I'm the star, Rick Thunder.
The first person you see is also running out to greet you, a very neatly dressed young lady with cropped blonde hair, a little pin keeping it together just above the temple. She's wearing a button-up cardigan and very smart shoes. She holds out a hand to yours as you run up to her. Oh, so nice to meet you. My name is Polly Tick. I'm the head of the student body here, student body president, if you will. I have not seen you around here. You're definitely new in town. She holds her hand
You
out.
might not have seen me around here, but surely you've seen me on TV in the network TV series, The Hit, with all the 18 to 48 demographics. It's Danger Zone.
Oh, it must be on some obscure cable channel. I mean, I consider myself a fan of popular television. I do like to keep it on in the background as I get on with my paperwork, and I have never heard of the show. Do you say it was called Rick Thunder Danger Zone?
Rick Thunder's Danger Zone, correct. Just give me a second. Something doesn't feel right here. I'm in the right time, but surely everyone would have seen the mega TV series hit Danger Zone in which I starred. So I go over to my car, Danger Zone, and I say, run the numbers. Just do some stats. And it tells me I'm in the right time, but this is not my reality. This is a different dimension. And then the car boot pops open, or the trunk, and I go around the back. Danger Zone is prepared for me because I have to find my way back home using the science club, and I've got to go deep undercover.
Oh, God.
As 35-year-old Rick Thunder. Not this. Must maybe do his biggest challenge yet.
What's up, fellow kids?
Infiltrate the school.
Oh my god.
Oh, my God. Like
And
never
get
been
back
home.
Okay, so Polly is watching you rush to your car, delve inside the front seat, and then pull these things out of the boot. Are you okay there, Rick? Are you all right? You lost. Let me show you around. And she puts like a firm arm around your shoulder and just starts leading you through the parking lot, up the steps, and into the main lobby of the school. Oh well. This is Grapp Valley High. We have the best academic record of any school in all of Grapp Valley, and the best sporting record too. We are pretty much unmatched as a building of education and extracurricular activity. You can see here, and she gestures towards the notice board, we are only 2 days away from prom. Everyone's very excited. Make sure you get yourself a date. Well, I think everyone's already taken. Also, we're just a day away from one of the biggest extracurricular events of the year, the school play. And she gestures towards a whole row of posters for Macbeth. And you see on the poster a prom king and prom queen. Prom king is sort of lantern-jawed, but sort of very delicately featured. And the prom queen has long red hair and is staring at bloody hands. There are a whole bunch of these posters, but you also see that some of them have been torn down in places. And over the top of some crudely stuck on with blue tack and a staple gun, other posters for Swan Lake, courtesy of the Grapp Valley High Dance Club. Yeah, there seems to be a bit of contention there about who was going to headline the end of year showcase, but I have more important things to worry about. Come, so tell me, what do you do? What's your thing?
I am I'm a high school student who's just here to join the science club. But I must say, I would love to go to the prom. I remember my first prom. I mean, I love dances, and I would love to come along. By the way, the car is following me through the school hall at this point. Danger Zone is just tracking in my wake.
Make a look roll to see how subtle Danger Zone is able to do that.
With my look, that is 9.
That's 9, yeah. It's so close to prom, it's so close to the end of the year that the students are so wrapped up in their own business, they do not notice a 1984 Pontiac Trans Am just very slowly trundling through the corridors. Of course, I mean, of course you're a high school student. You're in a high school and you're wearing a beanie. But what's your clique? What's your club?
Well, I think I should. I love the quarterbacking for the football.
You have nice broad
but-
shoulders, she says, and taps you on them.
Thank you. But I really need to get to that science, gang. I love the science.
Well, I mean, school hasn't started yet, and, well, everyone knows where the nerds go before school starts, right?
The library.
Oh, no, somewhere a little deeper than the library. Come on, you kid. I'll show you. And she gestures you down the hall, around a corner, and opens a slightly dirty and disused-looking door that leads to some steps as Danger Zone just trundles around the corner and then starts, as you descend those steps into the basement level, sort of shunts awkwardly against the door frame, not able to fit himself through because he's a car. Okay, we cut now down to the basement level, the abandoned sub-basement level of Grap Valley High, where about maybe half the students in attendance at Grap Valley Senior High have gathered in a broad circle of chants and jeers and shaking fists to form a makeshift fighting arena on a cold, dirty concrete floor. There is a makeshift ramp cobbled together clearly by the kids from shop class that leads up into a back area, and an old Edutron screen is hung from chains and zip ties above the ramp. The audience hush briefly as a tall figure makes his way down the ramp with a clunky-looking microphone in his hand. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another meeting of Quarrel Club. It's a big time of year here at Grap Valley High. Big things happening, big things ending for some of us for good as we move on to better, or hopefully better things. But contention still runs rife in the halls of Grap Valley. And contention is exactly what we settle here down in Classroom Brawler Wrestling. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. The winners...
One call.
Sorry.
Thank you. The winners will headline the end-of-year showcase before the prom tomorrow night. Making her way to the ring, hailing from the heart of the nation itself, America's sweetheart, Amelia Dramica.
I would actually just like to apologize for what is about to happen. I've been told that this is way too earnest, so here we go. Someone comes to the stage in a little tuxedo with their own little microphone and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to be treated to a performance of Oh Woe Is Me from the upcoming play Macbeth the Musical. As her entrance, it is Amelia Dramica." And out comes Amelia into a spotlight and says, "Oh life, disease has spread to my whole self. My arms, my legs, my hands, they reek of blood. Oh life, begone you spots. Oh spots, begone. The spots remain. The blood remains on me. Out foul spot, out foul spotlight." The spotlight goes out. It pops back into life, shining down on her. She's wearing a sparkly medieval gown. Piano music begins to play in as she sings a song on her way to the ring. "I am Lady Macbeth. My head's in a mess. 'Cause what we done when we killed Duncan and we took his headdress. Oh yes, Macbeth, he killed for a crown. Now this is his town. I'm his queen, can't get queen. Prophecy says we're going down. Oh double, double, some toil and some trouble. But you witches, you bitches, you can't burst my bubble. I'm Macbeth, Lady Macbeth. You won't see my death. It's off the page, off the stage, that's one. Now he's the only one left. Yes, he's Macbeth, the star of the show. But I want you to know that being king ain't no thing when you're missing your bow. Oh no, Macbeth. She's in the ring. Nerds. Nerds.
Making her way to the ring, hailing from Sweet Ballet, Grap Valley, the dancer of the Step Checker, the girl with the dragon Tutu, the maniac Felicity Flash Vance. All of a sudden, heavy drum machine and heavy synth burst into life from the old speakers, and a muscly-looking young woman in a black one-piece with heavy leg warmers on her arms and her feet, and like a thick mop of curly dark hair, just starts running down the ramp, stomping her feet in little tiny steps, arms pumping up and down. She flings her head back, bends back almost 180 degrees, so her head is looking back up the ramp again, and then flings herself back forward, continues to dance down, arms pumping, feet tapping. It briefly cuts to a pit bull terrier for a moment, then cuts back, and she continues to make her way down the ramp. And then she stops in the middle of the ring, right in front of you, flings her body back again, flings herself forward, looks you in the eye, points at her eyeballs, points at yours, and then steps back and braces herself into a sort of half combat, half ballet kind of position, sort of dipping in a sort of half plie on one leg. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, this is so beneath me. It's just not my thing. Understudy, ingenue. And someone comes out wearing a red wig to take my place in the match.
Okay, make a look roll on that.
A wig, you say?
Yes, not like me, obviously. I only rolled a 5 on that.
Oh dear. Okay, so as soon as your understudy makes her way through the through the parting audience and onto the ring, Felicity steps a couple of steps back, bends her knees, and then basically goes into one of her signature moves, the sock hop, which is a ballet jette into a Superman punch, and immediately her fist connects with the side of the jaw. Your understudy collapses back into the audience again, and you are left alone with Felicity Flash. What are you doing?
I am going to run in and I'm going to grab her leg. And this is a move from Macbeth called the Dragon Screw Your Courage to the Sticking Place. And I'm going to try and flip her over.
Okay, that sounds like a work roll.
I'm not good at that either. No, that's a 3.
Okay, so
Amelia doesn't do the fighting, darling.
As you grab her leg and try to flip her, she maneuvers out of it and kind of almost cat-like crawls over to your back, grabs your wrist and gets you into a signature wrist lock, the twist and shout, and just starts pushing and pushing and pushing as the pain shoots up your arm.
Okay, so she's got my arm. I'm going to try to call for a blackout. I'm going to try and scorpion kick her in the back of the head.
Nice. Okay, that's going to be a power roll, I think.
Oh, that's much better. That is a 7.
Your foot flicks back, cracks her in the back of the skull. She lets go of your wrist, stumbles back onto the ground, turns around, rubs her head and goes, I suppose turnabout is fair plie. And she makes another lunge for you into another sock hop Superman punch. What are you doing?
I'm going to just let it whiff. I'm going to exit stage left and just attempt to get out of the way, darling.
That's going to be a work roll.
My rolls are bad. These new dice are rubbish. 2.
She leaps up. You try to move out of the way in an elegant way, but you're not fast enough. The fist connects with your jaw. She says, "You've got no dance, sucker. No dance in hell." And then backs up again, giving you a little bit of space.
Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from crown to top toe full of direst cruelty. I am going to chop block her leg in an attempt to break it.
That is definitely a power roll.
That's not gone well. That is a 4.
Okay. You go for the chop block into the leg. She's too swift, too nimble. She sort of zips out of the way. Your hand just very gently slides past the soft wool of her leg warmers, almost connecting, but not quite. You're still on your feet, at least at this point. At this point, she dances around you in a kind of springing motion, getting underneath you, grabs wraps an arm very firmly around your thigh and starts to sort of lift you back into the break dance, which is basically a torture rack motion. At this point, she's trying to lift you off the ground. What are you doing?
I think I'm going to let her lift me off the ground, but I'm going to attempt to push as well as she does to try and force too much motion through into a move that I call the curtain call, which is like a Salida del Sol, and to drag her down to the mat on the back of her head.
Okay, so I think that feels like a worker maneuver again. You're trying to get yourself out of a torture rack.
That is a 7.
Talk us through it.
So as she sort of tries to pick me up backwards into the torture rack, Amelia just puts too much effort in and says, my star power is too much for you, darling. And just flips over the top, grabs the head on the way down and just boom into the floor. I am then going to immediately go to the turnbuckle and go for my finisher. Thing about Amelia, she thinks she's the greatest because she's seen Wicked 3 times, and that's why she should be the one who plays. So she's going to go for her finishing move, which she calls Defying Gravity, and it is a flashy shooting star press to get all eyes on her, darling.
Lovely. In which case, that's a straight 2d6 roll.
You sort yourself out.
What?
No.
As you leap off the turnbuckle is basically a bunch of students, but as you leap off them into the ring, Flash gets a moment of strength and starts to get to her feet. Oh, how many dancers does it take to beat a bitch down? 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 7 other dancers swarm down the ramp and spread around her. To the point now that there are 8 combatants in the ring with you, all cracking their knuckles and launching in sort of plies and dips, backflips, cartwheels, acrobatic, dancey stuff. We're also on that snake eyes. We're going to have to give you a penalty on your power, I think, simply because you are massively outnumbered. Okay. What are you doing?
I guess I'm going to attempt to call the rest of the Drama Society.
Okay, make a look roll.
To my aid. Yeah, okay, so that's 11. I just say, Drama Society assemble, otherwise you'll all be cut from the play. I can do this as a one-woman show, you know.
The second the word cut leaves your lips, just a swarm of actors in blind panic swarm the stage, from the audience, from the ramp, something that drop down from the rafters, go, no, and they just launch into combat with the with the dancers. You sort of
they're obviously all in costume as Macbeth soldiers from the play as well.
Fists swing, legs kick, dancers fall, actors fall, and after a mini war on the mat, only 2 people are left standing once again: Amelia and a battered and broken Flash, whose troops were outnumbered by the superior number of your desperate actors. And one of her eyes is swollen. He spits out a tooth, looks you straight in the eye and goes, "Bitch."
I am going to quickly pick up one of the dropped props from the brawl that has happened. It's a mace, and I'm going to swing for her leg.
Ooh, that's a real roll.
Thought it might be.
Friggin' her.
It's 8.
Talk us through that swing, and I'll take it from when it connects.
So Amelia screeching that the spotlight is all hers. This is my spotlight. Get out of it, darling. Just takes this mace two-handed into the side of the leg.
There is an almighty crunch as the mace connects with Flash's leg. She growls this primal scream of pain, and then bam, 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 just taps the concrete with her hand hard 3 times. Fine. You win. Your winner, America's sweetheart, Amelia Dramica. And the announcer holds your arm up in the air.
And scene.
This means your headlining end-of-year showcase performance will be the Drama Society's musical performance of The Bard's Macbeth. And the Drama Society whoop in joy and cheer, and they swarm around you and they lift you up a queen on a throne and carry you off at the back of the ring.
Got a bouquet from somewhere. Thank you. I brought it myself. Thank you.
We now cut above ground. Classes have started in some places. All is calm as always in the corridors of Grap Valley High. And part of the reason they're so calm is because of the stalwart efforts of one servant of order. Adam, can you please tell us who we see patrolling the halls?
We see Paul Monitor. He's 16, but it is a hard 16. He's seen things. He's heard things. He's cleaned up things. What matters to him most is order out of chaos. That's what he lives by. And he is one day away from retirement. having just expelled a car from the halls, which is a new one for Paul Monitor. He's patrolling the hallways, ready to execute a beating on anyone who doesn't have their hall pass.
And as you stick your Chupa Chup back in your mouth, you hear a sound which you should not be hearing while classes are going on. The sound of a human being making noise outside of a classroom.
Well, I never. Looks like it's time to execute some petty justice. The sound is coming from where?
The sound is coming from down the hall. I think you can make this out pretty clearly. You know these halls very, very well. The sound is coming from the men's bathroom.
The class has just begun as well, so I kick the door in and say, "Busted!"
As soon as you kick the door in, you are actually give me a power roll right now.
My power is a 0. That is a 8.
Okay, you instantly smell this powerful waft of a very foul, noxious, let's be honest, kind of fecal odor just shoots up your noses. Shoots up your nose. You've only got the one. But you are made of strong enough stuff, and you're able to just push down that urge to vomit. You hear a voice going, "Oh, bro. Oh, bro, it's bad. Oh, it's bad, bro. Oh." It's coming from one of the cubicles.
Cool. All right. I take a card from my wallet. It's a kind of like one of those binder wallets. I'm incredibly cool, and I just kind of jimmy the lock open. I'm incredibly practiced at breaking and entering and all matters of detective hall work.
Give me a quick look roll. Very quick.
That is a 10.
Yeah, nice. That'll do it. The lock opens and you see doubled over, pants around his ankles, mouth stained with vomit and, well, thighs stained with something else. The broad-shouldered form of star quarterback Chad Hardler. Bro, oh God, I've never been in so much pain. Oh.
Well. Chad, I'd always thought you'd face a violent expulsion. But this is not the violent expulsion I thought you would face. Let me see your hall pass.
Bro, I don't have one. I had to go, bro. I had to go.
This is a little concerning, obviously, because Paul Monitor has read all the files on all the kids, and he knows that if anyone's got an iron constitution, it's Chad. He is, after all, the star quarterback. He needs to make sure he's in constant peak fitness and health. So this is slightly disquieting to me. So before I execute some hallway justice, I'm going to take a sandwich bag from my pocket. I've already had my sandwiches. Tuna mayo with a single slice of lettuce for texture. And I am going to take a single chunk vomit, please, from the floor and place it in a sandwich bag for analysis.
Make a look roll, because that's your gimmick.
5. What happens now?
you definitely get some vomit in the bag, but you get some vomit in other places as well. And it's just, there's so much slippery material in this entire cubicle. You can't quite get your feet. This is like a Kevin James in a movie that Kevin James is in kind of situation.
You gotta be kidding me. Whoa.
Oh, God.
You do, it is only a 5. It's not a critical fail. You do manage to get your sample, because how could you not? But your hands are now covered in the goopy, surprisingly substantial vomit of Chad Hardler.
All right.
Bro, you gotta help me. You gotta help me, bro.
All right, Chad. Perhaps we can keep the principal out of this, but you have to come with me to the nurse's office.
Oh, sure, bro. Anything, just... one moment. All right, let's go, bro.
All right, I haul him over one shoulder, and my spine creaks, and I go, I'm too old for this shit, and I start hobbling down the hallway with him towards the school nurse.
Amazing. You make your way down the hallway. The hallways are empty. They're empty because you're good at your job. And in no time at all, you manage to shuffle the lumbering, sticky form of Chat Hardler to the nurse's office. The door is currently closed. What are you doing?
I give a polite and respectful 3 taps with my second knuckle on the frosted glass.
After the first tap, the door just swings open of its own accord, and you look inside to see a scene of disarray. The entire nurse's office has been turned upside down. Cupboards have been flung of all their contents. Bottles are open. The whole place is just a mess. Someone has done a real number on this place.
My God. I've never seen such rampant chaos in all my years as a hall monitor. I take a quick scan with my kind of monitor vision to see kind of what is missing, if I can see anything out of place.
Okay, make a look roll on this one then.
Oh.
Whoops.
Second of the game.
This is gonna be great.
Okay, so
Falls into all the glass.
your eyes narrow so hard, you get such an intense Clint Eastwood squint on that the frames of your glasses crack a little.
I'm blind.
And you're gonna have a we're gonna give you a -1 penalty to your current look on that snake eyes for the time being. On a snake eyes, man, you just squinted a little bit too hard. You sucked that chubba chub with a little too much gusto, and just all the muscles in your face just contorted so much. Yeah, the flimsy lenses of your not particularly expensive glasses cracked under the pressure.
Away from retirement.
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, that the place is in complete disarray. There is no way you could figure out what has taken there without days of work and a whole CSU team.
If I can't work out what's missing or what has been done to the place, like why it's been ransacked, I would assume someone's looking for something. Then I'm going to instead examine the door. Because, as far as I'm aware, there are only a handful of people who can execute a break and entry job with the kind of skill that I have.
Okay, so make another look roll for us.
Now. That's more like it. That's 8.
Okay, yeah. The lock has been picked with pinpoint precision. There is literally only one man on campus capable of doing a job like this, a man who has made a high school side business out of this particular job. And that boy is Jimmy the Lock. And if you know Jimmy the Lock right now, he's going to be downstairs in Quarrel Club placing bets and making money. You know where you need to go next. Okay, and speaking of Quarrel Club, we cut downstairs back again to the arena, the ring of students chanting and jeering, eager for the only outlet of violence and rage they are allowed in order to keep the peace at the top of the stairs. Gathered friends and students, adolescent adversaries, we have another quarrel to settle down here in Classroom Brawler Wrestling. The laws of Quarrel Club have been encoded in our school since the beginning of time. No conflict may be allowed to spill out or occur above ground. When someone is wronged, that slight is righted down here. And someone has been wronged once again in the halls of Grap Valley High. So it's time to settle the score. Making their way to the ring, the defendant, the satanic anarchist, hailing from Cemetery Heights, Rita Hexbook.
Hi. So, I'm actually just drawing on the wall, ball monitor sucks balls, and then his phone number underneath, and then turn around, just wandering, get into the ring, I guess.
Making their way to the ring, the prosecution, hailing from Green Bay, Grap Valley, EMO. and suddenly the lights just shut down, and the entire club is in darkness. And then, they come back up again, and you find yourself standing opposite in the ring a tall, very slim young man with sort of black skinny jeans, Converses. He's got a black T-shirt with a white skeleton ribcage on it and a little red heart above where the heart would be. He's got sort of very darkly black-dyed, dirty hair that covers about 3/4 of his face, so just sort of one eye is peeking out. And he just stands there staring at you with his one eye. Ding, 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 ding. Hold on. What are you doing, Lo? Okay, make a work roll fast.
Hang on, that went off the side.
How small is your desk?
Surprisingly small.
Always falls off.
I just got a really vigorous throw. It's been a long time. Tom.
Make that work roll, Lo.
It's 6.
6. Oh, thank you. Okay. That won't do it, I'm afraid.
I'm seeing double here. 4 lorries.
Okay. So in no time at all, this is actually getting too difficult.
No depth perception. It's really, really shit.
In no time at all, the silent, unspeaking form of EMO slides behind you, wraps these very, very slim, bony arms around your stomach, and then just pulls you in a bear hug, signature move known as the Weezer Embrace, and just starts choking all of the life out of you. What are you doing? You finding it hard to breathe? What are you doing?
I'm just going to stamp on his foot really hard with my fuck off Doc Martens.
I feel because it's Doc Martens, that's probably a look roll. You can roll and look for that.
Look is 8.
8.
Sorry, 8.
Your heavy Doc Marten connects with his foot. He yowls out in a very sincere expression of emotional anguish, and lets go of your stomach and staggers back. After just the briefest moment of collecting himself, he then speeds, almost like he's moving on a dolly, slides across the ring, or slides across the mat, leaps up onto the top of the shoulders of some of the audience, and then springboards himself from the shoulders of a football player for the crashboard confessional, in an attempt to basically splash you down onto the ground. What are you doing?
I'm just going to lift my elbow up to connect with his ribs, so when he comes in, I'm just going to get him straight in the diaphragm.
That could be real or work, because that's really painful, but it's also clever.
Real, please. Thank you.
All right, mate.
8.
Nice, yeah. Another sort of sickening crunch as some of the frailest ribs you've ever elbowed crumble under the point of your pointy bones. And he doubles up, coughs a little, and is currently on his knees on the mat. What are you doing?
I've got salt from my ritual earlier that I used to make the circles, and I'm just going to blow it into his eyes.
Okay, make a look roll for that.
Oh, not real. Oh, fine.
Okay, then start with me, Lo.
I'm not starting with you. Oh, that. Hang on, look. So that is 11. Sorry, couldn't do math.
Nice. His eyes just, he screams in pain again as this salt just sort of gets straight into his eyes. You sort of see them go from bloodshot to even more bloodshot. Another sort of primal scream of emotional anguish. And then he looks at you, hisses, and then clicks his fingers, and boom, the entire arena disappears into darkness again. You can't see anything for a moment, and then you hear two sort of gentle, almost plastic cracking sounds, and suddenly the light of 2 glow sticks appears hovering at about head height in the darkness, that start to move and swirl around in sort of a spinning motion. And and then EMO just leaps at you and goes into Jimmy Beat World, which is basically where he hits you with his glow sticks as hard as he can.
This is what I don't like about emos, is that they feel they can just cross genres, just move into raver, just it's not a problem, stick your own fucking genre. Sorry, what's he done? I wasn't actually listening.
That stings, man. That stings. He's beating you with glow sticks.
Beating me with glow sticks.
Well, he's trying to.
Cool. Just going to stand there then.
Okay, make a power roll to withstand the the onslaught of the Jimmy Beat World move.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Sorry.
Come in,
Roll.
Rita.
This is some New Japan level no selling.
What was it on?
It was on power.
10.
10. Yeah, he futilely beats you with these glow sticks that after several pounds just sort of crack, and some of the liquid from them leaks out of the stick and onto his clothes, making him very easy now to see in the dark.
Great.
What are you doing?
I want to go for an elbow for his throat.
Go for it. That's fine, real.
4.
4. He moves a little too quickly out of your way, and with his last ounce of strength gets his own elbow and goes for a breaking back Sunday and tries to get you right in the spine with his elbow. What are you doing?
I'm going to surprise everyone, and I'm going to try and move out of the way as quick as possible and just pull down his trousers.
Ooh.
Oh, those are some skinny jeans.
The ultimate humiliation.
I feel like that's a work roll, because those are some tight jeans that take some skill, man. You can't just yank them like baggies.
Sorry.
Like she was born to do it.
Talk us through it, man. Talk us through it.
So I just, I don't know, just dropped to the floor, and some weird ability to, I assume he's got a belt on because all emo dickheads wear some kind of belt that's got, like, I don't know, bullets on it or something.
It's a bullet
cliche.
belt. It's a legit bullet belt.
Is it actual bullets though?
No, they're on plastic, fake bullets.
That's what's wrong with it. It's just fucking fake and horrendous and awful, and I don't even have to pull it open. I just snap it because it's that crap, and then just yank the trousers down all the way down to his ankles, and he's wearing the tightest, most awful briefs with My Chemical Romance on the front of it.
Lolo Brow, legit shooting on emos today. Okay.
Huge MCR fan, so it's fine.
As you pull his trousers down, all of a sudden the lights, boom, snap back on, and he is left there with his embarrassing briefs and pale bare legs in front of the whole audience. He drops to his knees. You know what you did. You know what you did.
You're still upset about that?
No one takes us seriously anymore. My crush, Stacy Beaker from Science Lab, won't even look at me. I guess My Chemical Romance is never going to be emo after all.
Oh.
Can I just headbutt him while he's on the floor?
Go for it. On that natural 12, you just knock him clean unconscious and poof. Your winner, the satanic anarchist, Rita Hexbook. The quarrel is ended.
Cool.
And the announcer immediately starts getting ready for the next match. We now return to Paul Monitor, who has made his way downstairs into the crowds surrounding the event, and the very short, very slim, very weaselly figure of Jimmy the Lock is counting up dollars in his hand, leaning against the door that leads to the CBW locker rooms.
I grab him by the scruff of the neck and I throw him through the doors of the locker room.
Hey, what's the big idea? Give me a power roll for that.
That is 10.
Okay, yeah, you fling him against the door. He goes through it and stumbles into the locker room like, hey, Paul Monitor, what's going on? What's the big idea? Hey, I got no beef with you. At that point, you hear the announcer call out, the following match is scheduled for 1 fall, making their way to the ring, the Queen of the Stoner Age, Mary Jane. And as Jimmy stumbles back further in fear, scrabbling across the ground into the locker room, you hear the sound of cheers as the the drunken master flow of Mary Jane makes her way into the ring. Back in the main arena, what are you doing? He's just sort of scrabbling on the ground now, sliding back.
Let's not do this little dance again, Jimmy. I've got some questions. And if you don't give me the answers I'm looking for, then I'm going to introduce you to my several orange friends. And I take a bag with oranges in it. Because, fun fact, oranges don't leave bruises.
Hey, I don't want to dance. I don't know how to dance. What's the big idea? I don't know nothing. I saw nothing. I don't know who they are.
I just gonna the hard way it is, and I just clattered his legs out from under him with the oranges.
Okay, so give me a work roll for that because it's a trip.
All right. My work is, I think it's +1. Let me check. It is +1. Huzzahs! That is 5.
Okay, and as you move towards him, you hear the announcer again from across the other room, making their way to the ring, the myth maker, Steelberg, and the audience start chanting, Steelberg, Steelberg, as this big, heavy guy in like jeans and a plaid shirt and a leather jacket with a neat little goatee makes his way down the ring. On that 5, he's a slimy, slippery little bugger, is Jimmy, and he slips his legs out of the way and just manages to avoid being tripped. He sort of gets himself some square footing and just starts to bolt deeper into the locker room as fast as he can.
I'm going to run up after him and try and hit him with a missile drop kick as he's moving, which I call the goody two shoes.
Okay, fantastic. That is a work roll, I think.
That's more like it. 7.
So you leap into the air, crunch up your body, and as your dropkick connects with the frail back of this little Weasley man, the second your feet crunch into his spine, you hear the crack as Steelberg uppercuts Mary Jane with a camcorder right under her chin, and she stumbles back further against into the ring and lands into the arms and surrounders. The dropkick knocks Jimmy the Lock to his feet, and he's still trying to get away as fast as he can now. He's terrified. He's crawling on his hands and knees. Hey, what's the big idea? I thought you were all right.
I step on one of his hands. I take a pen from my pocket and I place it between these fingers on his hand, and I just put my fist around it and I just give him a gentle squeeze, and I just say, "Give me a name."
That is painful enough to be a real roll.
Oh, my reel is -1. Damn it. Oh, shag. That is a 2, an unnatural 2.
So yeah, as you try to maneuver that pen in that very specific position, he slides his little rat-like hands away just as Mary Jane is swaying effortlessly out of the heavy-handed swings of Steelberg as he swings his big 1990s camcorder around like a club in the ring. On that fail, Jimmy the Lock gets to his feet and like scrambles around his pockets, scrambles around in like any kind of locker he can find, and he comes across a slingshot, a catapult, a classic sort of Y-shaped elastic band catapult. Sort of gets some spare coins out of his pocket, pulls it back in one hand and says, "Hey, I'll do it. You know I'll do it. You know what I do if I'm pushed."
I look him dead in the eyes and say, "You haven't got the balls."
Make a look roll.
All right, that's -1. That is 6.
Okay. I got bigger balls than you know. And he lets go of the catapult as this tiny little coin shoots its way towards your face. Back in the ring, winded from constantly swinging this big, heavy weapon. The thing about Steelberg is he's good at short bursts of power, but then he tires himself out. And so while he is wheezing, Mary Jane just blows a cloud of marijuana smoke into his mouth. And the audience watches as his eyes sort of gloss over with red bloodshotness, and his movements start to become more dazed, more motionless, more dazed, more kind of sway. You on that failed roll, that coin pings you straight in the forehead, knocks you back a couple of steps, and by the time you open your eyes and like get your bearings again, the room is empty. There's no way out of this locker room, but Jimmy the Lock is nowhere to be found.
Monitor vision. I'm gonna find this motherfucker.
Okay, make a look roll.
-1. Come on, daddy. Boom. 7.
7. Nice. Tell us what monitor vision looks like when it's happening.
It's like a really old like Terminator vision, like really kind of like 8-bit and kind of blocky, and it like RoboCop, and it just kind of just like very slowly zooms in on individual things and just like gives them a scan. And I'm just scanning the room for Jimmy the Lock when I notice a just a slight bend in the metal of one locker. Like every other locker is exactly uniform, but there is just a very slight curve outwards on one of the locker doors.
Well spotted. What are you doing?
I'm going to rip open the locker, which I assume contains Jimmy the Lock, and then I'm going to drag him out and go for my finisher, if that helps.
Okay, so let's have let's do this all on your finisher roll to see how well this goes. So what you're trying to basically do is rip open the locker and drag out whoever you find inside. You're going to drag out. Okay, give us your finisher roll.
All right, so I'm going to go for my finisher, which is basically it's a label lock. Or a saved by label lock, if you will, which is actually called, it's not called that because that is way too cool for Paul Monitor. It's actually called it's called The Detention is Killing Me. And I'm going to go for it now. 10.
Okay, you rip open that door in a in a surprising feat of strength. I think you're probably quite a hard-bodied guy by the sounds of it. Just the amount of grunt work you have to do. That door is ripped open. The cowering form of Jimmy the Lock's inside. Hey, what's the big idea? I'm just taking a nap in here, buddy. And you pull him out and slam him against the locker. What are you saying? Talk us through your finisher. Sorry.
So I drag him to the ground. I wrap his arm between my legs, and I wrench my hands like basically across the bridge of his nose, kind of torquing his back, torquing his neck, wrenching his shoulder out of his socket. And I just simply say the name. I know you haven't got the stones to steal anything from the school, but you are a lockpick for hire, and I want to know who paid you to bust into the nurse's office. Give me a name.
Back in the ring, dazed for a moment, the bloodshot eyes of Steelberg start to clear. He looks Mary Jane square in her eyes and says, "Most artists do their best work when high," and goes for the final cut, which is basically a instant sleeper hold, clapperboard kind of maneuver straight around the neck, and then knocks her in the neck, and she boom drops to the ground. The audience lose their shit. Steelberg starts stomping around going as pyros go off to the left and right. And then back in the locker room, Jimmy the Lock says to you, all right, hey, Paul, buddy, pal, pats you on the shoulder. You know how I operate. I don't take names. I don't ask for names. They just leave the money, the time, and the place and the door they want picked in my locker, and I do the rest. No names, I swear.
All right, Rodney Dangerfield, give me something, or I'm
Say
taking
hi to your mother for me.
Give me something, or I am expelling your arm from your body.
Because you succeeded that finisher, absolutely. He takes a look. Here's the envelope. It's all I got. I took the cash. I spent it on a watch. And he points to a shiny Rolex on his wrist. Oh, please, buddy, come on, let me go.
I release it. I give him a kick in the pants as he scurries away and say, "Don't let me see you around here again."
He scurries away in fear, and we leave Paul Monitor standing in the locker room looking at this envelope. Okay, we cut now back to the arena, and the announcer makes his way back down the ramp to speak to the assembled students. As long as there has been man, there have been jocks, and there have been nerds. And as long as these two clans has lived, their war has waged eternal. The never-ending battle continues safely from the surface world down here in the ring of classroom brawler wrestling. Making their way to the ring, Chip and Bard, the Method. The lights dim on stage, and on the Edutron, all of a sudden, just an endless stream of binary numbers appear in green font. They flicker and change matrix style and slowly clarify into the shape of a quill, which flicks with a flourish, and then there is a burst of pyros. And coming down the ring, side by side, are a large, broad-shouldered, lantern-jawed man with delicate features, wearing a doublet and a ruff around his neck. And next to him is a very small, very wiry, very strong-looking little fellow in thick rimmed glasses with a bit of tape around the rim. He's wearing some very colourful braces, some very colourful socks, some very hard wearing shoes, a pair of battered jeans. They make their way into the centre of the ring. Bard, the big fella, stands in the middle, breathes in the atmosphere, flicks his hand and takes a big flourishing bow as Chip retreats to his corner. Making their way to the ring, the Hard Body Boys, Ostriker Bolton and Chad Hardler. Tell us who enters the ring alone.
So coming down to the ring is Ostriker Bolton, Oz to his friends. He's the captain of the wrestling team here at the school. And obviously the music is playing. It's like the school thing. As he walks down to the ring with his awesome Letterman jacket, taking in the applause of his opponents. But he has got a bit of look of concern on his face because his tag partner, his best friend in the whole world, is nowhere to be found. Where's Chad Hardler is just not around.
The announcer comes up to you, Oz. Where's Chad?
I don't know, dude. He's not around, man. I don't know where he is.
You know the rules of Quarrel Club. If you can't bring your tag partner, you forfeit the match.
Look, last I heard, he was probably hurling somewhere. I ain't got time for it. Dude, I will fight this on my own. I will take these two dudes on, these nerds, on my own.
You know that's not how it works. Look, Oz, unless you can drum up a quarterback in the next 1 minute, you're forfeiting this match.
Sort of looks around panically. Anyone here? Anyone want to fight by my side? Anyone want to team up with the captain of the wrestling team so I don't have to forfeit to these nerds?
Is there any quarterback in the audience who can step in? Anybody at all?
Do you want me to say me?
Please. Yes, please, Rick.
Is it one of us? I don't know.
So by this point, Danger Zone, the car, has made its way into Quarrel Club.
God
and he
damn it.
gives me a gentle nudge behind, just backs up against behind my knees. Good idea, Danger Zone. I was a quarterback. Hey, Oz, I'm your guy. I'll help you beat these two, but in return, I need a favor. I need some science.
Oh, that's nerd stuff, man. I ain't got time for that, but you do look about the same age as me, so I'm gonna say you can be my tag partner, man. I'll help you out where possible.
We could even be brothers. That's how the same age we look.
Oh, totally, dude. There's no age difference between us, man.
I feel like we just instantly bond over our shared age.
Yes, totally same age, man.
Okay, and with that heartwarming conversation, you hear the sound of the bell, ding, 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 ding. And
hold up. I came here to wrestle, so I gotta get wrestling shape.
What's happening? Why has he always got a strip now in every show?
It's in his rider.
Oh,
no!
Oh,
Thank God for that microphone.
It's in the perfect place. Oh.
I came here to wrestle, dude. It's time to get some wrestling.
Oh, and I was worried about people seeing me through my window.
Okay, well, with Oz as the legal wrestler against Bard, the legal wrestler, what are you doing, Oz?
So the first thing I'm doing to this nerd is I'm walking up to him and I'm just going to take my hand, I'm going to push it right up against his face. The American Pie face, I call it.
Okay, that's a straight power roll to give him a face shove.
Oh, that hand's positioning is so unfortunate.
It's 5.
As you lunge forward with your big frame, the equally large framed body of Bard scoops you up under the legs, lifts you up, and drops you in Slamlet, his signature body slam. Boom! Right down on the floor. What are you doing?
Man, dude. I'm going to get up. I'm not going to be shoved up by this nerd. Shown up by nerds, man. So I'm going to do a slam of my own. I scoop my hand underneath, a move that was taught to me by a friend, fall pinch, that I call the shit breaker. So I'm just going to scoop my hand underneath, give him a little bit of a grab around the ass as I go to try and slam him myself.
Another power roll,
Taking his
man.
oil.
This is a lot.
Hey, 8.
8. Talk us through it.
So yeah, the hand goes under, a little bit of a squeeze there for the shit breaker to really take effect. Over the shoulder he goes and then slams him down. And I'm immediately going to start going in for some wrestling, some proper Greco-Roman wrestling. So locking in the head so he can't get anywhere.
Okay, that is going to be a real roll because you are a scholastic wrestler.
8.
8. Yeah, you successfully get the lock right around his throat. He starts wheezing, struggling, wriggling to get out. What are you doing?
I'm actually going to sort of like just maneuver around a little bit so I can start pulling his head back to try and get him to submit one of his signature moves named after a previous girlfriend of his, Sarah Michelle Yeller. Try and get him to scream in pain.
Okay, so that sounds worky to me.
What does it? It's wrestling. Like
sorry.
I'm doing.
I don't know scholastic wrestling, man. I spent most of my research time looking for puns. So yeah, you can make a real roll.
Thank you very much. Not that it helped. 5.
Unfortunately, no. He just, as you try to change position, he uses that advantage to power himself out, push you back a little bit, and then says, looking you deep in the eye, "If music be the food of love, eat this," and punches you straight in the jaw.
Oh man, I'm annoyed because this nerd is showing me up. I'm going to tag in the kid who's clearly the same age as me. I trust him. High school quarterbacks. Tag in.
Tag back. Cheers, man. Did you see the popular stuff on the TV last night?
Dude, I actually did. I saw all the
Yeah,
popular stuff. Yeah.
Did you watch the Danger Zone show?
What, no?
No, worth a go. So I go in and I immediately go for, I think me and Luke did a similar thing here, the 10 things I hate about you, which is 10 punches.
Yes.
But with every punch, but with every punch, Danger Zone is going to honk its horn. Bump, bump. So I do 2. But then, like, I quickly getting close with the nerd, and I say, "Do you know any science? Do you know any time travel science?"
Okay, so first off, we're going to need you to roll on. You can roll on look for the golden shower, basically.
It's a 9.
That'll do it. And then we're going to have you roll on work to get to the nerd in time.
Work is +1. Oh, well, I got the +1. So is it? What does that mean?
Oh, son.
Oh my god.
So, as soon as basically you drift your focus to try and get the nerd, that's all the opening that Bard needs. Bromeo, Bromeo, wherefore art thou, Bromeo? And he goes he goes for 12th strike, which is basically where he rains down 12 punches in sequential order on you. Boom, 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 boom. And on the 12th punch, you are sent barreling back into the turnbuckle, spine again, well, back into the student buckle, like landing against the teenagers, right next to, however, Chip. However, Chip uses this opportunity of you being right near him and with the referee distracted to initiate tech knuckle support, where he basically backs up Bard's punches with punches of his own and just sort of starts laying into you while you're weakened.
While I'm getting hit from side to side, I ask Chip, so you're the sciencey nerd. Do you know more about the science?
In between each punch, he's like, what was Chip's voice? "Ooh, yes, stranger, I think you'll find I'm very well versed in the technical matters." Boom, 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 boom. And I am, of course, bound by QC law to grant you one boon should you defeat me in mortal combat.
That's all I needed to know, nerd. And then my elbow hit me in the face.
Okay.
I need the other one in the dick.
Okay, so I'm going to have you can roll on look for this because you're basically just a jock beating up nerds right now.
It's an 11.
That'll do it. Yeah, You elbow him right in the point where his glasses are taped together, and they split. And then, did you say you knee Bard in the dick?
Knee Bard in the dick, yeah. And then I want to roll through and tag Oz.
Yeah, he winces, his eyes sort of cross like Kevin James in a Kevin James movie, drops to his knees and says, "Frailty, thy name is Bard."
Nerd!
Okay, yeah, you can make it with a tag, of course. What are you doing, Oz?
I'm going to grab him, clearly inspired by the great same age work that I just saw from my new tag partner, Rick Thunder. I'm going to do one of my other signature moves, 10 moves I do about you. I'm going to grab him. So just grabbing him into a waistlock to do in 10 takedowns.
Cool.
And that is going to be 9.
Lovely. Okay, so take us through that.
Grabbing him by the waist, throwing him, slam, maintaining waist control, lifting him up, slam, maintain that waist control, up and slam, so on and so forth. And then transition into the finisher, a reminder of one of my greatest adventures with my friend, Chad Hardler. Dude, where's my armbar? And I'm just going to transition into sort of like the Becky Lynch's disarmer, essentially, as the finish.
Go for it. Straight 2d6.
Oh, that is 7.
Just about. You made it. Talk us through it, man.
So after the slams have been done, just grab the arm, sit up, wrench it, and wait for this nerd to scream out in pain and eventually tap out.
Rick,
I see the other who's the legal man on the other team?
the legal man is still Bard. No one's actually tapped Chip in yet. He was just doing some dirty work from the corner.
So Chip's going to get in to break up the armbar. Can I hit a move on them to sort of do a double team finish?
I'll allow it.
Never been missed then. So I hop onto Danger Zone as it's circling the ring, and it goes round and round and round, and I jump off using the force and spear a torpedo spear onto Chip to take him out.
Beautiful. Yeah, just as Chip sort of gets up and starts, what is Chip going for? Chip is going for the reboot, which is basically where he gets his friend out of a pin. You intercept him like a missile, and boom, the ref comes in. Are you in for a submission move? Is that right, Oz?
Yes. Yeah.
Bard still wincing in pain from his tenderized meat. Taps. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, verily, it's not hurt indeed.
I'm yelling nerds while I do it.
Your winners, ding, 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 ding. Oz and the Stranger, the new Hard Body Boys adventures. As you get to your feet and start celebrating, Chip comes up to you, Rick, and says, "I am bound by Quarrel Club law to grant you one boon. How may I be of service?"
Thank you. That would be really, really helpful. I really need to get back to my own time. And then I kick him in the dick again. Hey, look at this nerd, Oz.
Oh, nerd.
Oh, is this a Rick Thunder heel turn?
No, he's doing what needs to be done to get back home.
Bound by law. Very well. And then he passes out. However, Oz, as you are celebrating, the announcer comes up to you, puts his hand on your shoulder. Oz, what have you done? What is the one cardinal rule of Quarrel Club? We keep order upstairs. You can break his arms, you can rip out his hair, but you've minced this man's giblets. He cannot sing. Oz, if the school play doesn't go ahead, chaos will erupt on the surface.
Oh, no!
By the laws of Quarrel Club, you must make this right. And Bard's like, it can't be done, forsooth. I spent weeks learning the complicated scholastic wrestling sequence needed for my battle against Macduff. There's no one who can learn those moves in time. Oz, I'm sorry, but it's the law here. You have taken a player out of the game. You have disrupted the order. You must make this right. You must take his place in the school play tomorrow.
No, man. The nerds?
6 p.m. tomorrow after school, just before prom. You have to be on stage unless you have somewhere better to be.
But that's the exact same time I'm doing the wrestling match.
I suppose there is one way out of this. If you can defeat the head of the drama club in the ring, you can earn your freedom.
Fine, I'll do it, because this wrestling match is important to me. If I don't win that match, I'm not getting into Vinston, and I'm not getting my scholarship, and I'm not going on to be just like my father. I don't want to be a nerd like this nerd.
Well, you'd better win then. Very quickly, we are going to cut to a disused janitor's closet somewhere on the second floor. Very, very briefly, Adam, tell us what we see inside that closet.
So inside my janitor's closet is where I keep all the accoutrements I need for detective work and hallway crime solving. There is a computer called the monitor. There is a map of the school with all of the kind of the secret ducts and passages covered with kind of red string. There's newspaper clippings of all the times I've brought crims to justice to keep my hallways safe. And there is, of course, my best friend, Sherlock Bones, the crime pup, who I keep there to remind me of why I'm doing this, for justice and for order. So I am feeding the matter I attained from Chad Hardler into the computer, and I am analyzing the note. The note simply says the nurse's office, 10 a.m. But I notice there's a slight coating of dark dust on the note. I smudge across it with my thumb, and it smears a lot like eyeshadow. And I recognize that shade. Suddenly, the monitor goes off, and the analysis is finished. Pup points over, and I go, "What is it? What is it, Pup?" The sample is ready for analysis. And then I read up, and it says it's a curious compound. It's a mixture of punch powder mix and industrial strength laxative. The kind of laxative that can only be obtained from the nurse's office. My God, the shade of the eyeshadow. The trial run poisoning. She's going to poison the prom. And I fall to my knees and I let out a shriek. Rita!
And that's all for this week on CBW. We'll see you next week.
That is all we've got time for this week's No Rolls Barred. Check back this time next week for part 2 of Classroom Brawler Wrestling. And if you want to get early access to part 2, join us on Patreon, like these legends you see scrolling past me. You become a patron, you get 48-hour early access to all No Rolls Barred episodes and much, much more. Again, the link is in the description. Jam that jam.